Hey, Tecto here. Just wanted to follow up on something I actually found in the patch notes while I was just going around for a patch note video. A pretty big change, in my opinion, to crystal teleport seeds. So, as you can see here, I have a crystal teleport seed with 8 charges on it. What the heck is that? So basically, they used to, whenever you would talk to a Lunid or Iswile, depending on quest progression, uh, they used to only get it up to a level 3 so that you could have 3 teleports per, but honestly that was very, very annoying to do. You'd have to be constantly talking to them, getting new teleport seeds, or like I did, I got like over 100 of these. I camped them for an hour and got like 80 or 90 all in 1 hour. You would have to be contacting them constantly if you were planning on consistently using them. But now what you can do, you can just go ahead and take out bank of 25 of these crystal teleport seeds. Go ahead and use NPC contact. I have done the majority of the quests on this account. It's my Iron Man account, so it has a lot of stuff done on it. I'm actually getting pretty close to comp on it. But after a quest, Isluin, is that how you pronounce it? Isluin? You can contact her. Just with I use NPC contact. It's kind of hard to search around the forest. It's worth it just to use a couple of runes. Honestly, if you have NPC contact, all you have to do is be on Lunar Spellbook. She will charge them all up to 8 charges, so all 25 of them for up to 8 charges. So in total, quick math here, don't quote me, I think it's 200 charges. You can teleport 200 times, assuming you teleport like once a minute or even once every half minute. That is either 3 hours and a bit or hour and a half, teleporting every half a minute, or teleporting every minute. It's 3 hours worth of charges. It's definitely worth it for one NPC contact to do 3 hours. It used to be less than an hour for every single time you had to do that, or every single time you had to contact her. So let's go ahead and do that. It's gonna take 10,000 out of my coin pouch, which actually isn't that big of an increase anyway. It's actually cheaper now to do it. It used to be 300 for 3 charges, and now it's 400 for 8 charges. It's literally cutting the price of doing this in half. So you can have a lot more charges extremely quickly with this. But one thing that I wanted to actually show you is they made another variant of it. For this, not 400, I'm gonna want 4,000 of these. You can actually charge up these crystal teleport seeds. That used to be a way of charging it up to 4 dose, I believe, for 150 harmonic dust. They have actually changed that. I'm gonna go ahead and get to the singing bowl here. At the singing bowl, you can actually now make an attuned crystal teleport seed. Now, it comes at a pretty steep cost. 4,000 harmonic dust is a lot of money there. It uses, it would be about 40 crystal components, and 40 crystal components, in my opinion, are worth somewhere around 4 million GP. So be aware that you are putting quite a bit of money into getting this crystal teleport seed. You could be making 4 million instead, assuming that you have crystal tool siphons already unlocked. I'll do a video on those in the future date. But for now, suffice it to say, it's about 4 million that you're putting into this one teleport crystal. I am going to go ahead and make this and see what it does. I know that it has unlimited teleports, and looks like that's the way it works. It looks like everything's working the way it's supposed to. I just tried this for the first time. So, why the heck would you want this? I personally am going to use it a lot on my Iron Man, which is why I'm actually doing this video on this account instead of on another account. It does have some good teleports on it. I'm going to go ahead and scroll through all these really quick just so that you can see what kind of teleports you get for this 4 mil investment. First one is Laleta, or Leta, or whatever you want to pronounce it. not very useful. It does have the, I think mine's actually dead, it looks like. Oh, no, fruit tree patch. You do have a fruit tree patch here, so it does have its use for tree runs. Actually, later on, you'll see that it has even more uses while you're doing the tree runs. But I'll get to those when I get to those. Second teleport that you have on here is the Temple of Light? Is that what it's called? Yeah, Temple of Light. Obviously, if you're doing this quest and you have one of these, which I don't think you should. Yeah, you might have it by this point. I don't really remember. I think this is actually the quest that unlocks it. So you shouldn't have it during the quest. But if you ever had to come back to this area for whatever reason to kill shadows or get to the death altar, this might be a reasonable way of doing it, using this crystal teleport seed. All these teleports are also available on the 8-piece one, so you can teleport to any of these places with any crystal teleport seed. This one just has infinite charges at a pretty big cost, but I feel like it's going to be worth it over time. I'll show you a pretty OP thing you can do with it here in a couple seconds. One thing that I very commonly go to, and it looks like there's actually somebody here doing this, you can AFK these dark beasts. It was one of the ways that I get invention XP on this account. Usually these puppies are aggressive. I'm not sure why they're not attacking me right now, but they're very aggressive. You can use these as a very good AFK method of training invention. It's very good. It's one of the ways that I've actually gotten so high on invention on this account. Go ahead and teleport to one of the combos of the OP-ness of this. Amlod, it's going to put you somewhere in this circle, along with every single one of these teleports on here that go to the Prifness cities, or part of the Prifness cities. It just teleports you somewhere in this circle, so it does mean that you might have a couple extra steps, nothing too big. But there's an obelisk right here. This obelisk is probably going to be the fastest way of making pouches now that we have this crystal. It used to be that it was the fastest way, but you had to be constantly recharging the crystal. But with this new crystal where you can just teleport over and over again, this might become the best way of training summoning, assuming that you don't want to use the Taverly one where you buy and sell the items, which can get quite expensive. This is probably the best way of making pouches quickly, though. That doesn't include selling something to a store and buying it back. I'm going to go ahead and skip over a couple right here to show you the OP combo of this. Ithol teleports you right next to a bank chest, and it is extremely close to the Amlod. Amlod's right over there, but you could just teleport back and forth. Go get your new inventory of summoning supplies, grab 25 Crimson Charms, 25 pouches, some spirit shards, and whatever you want to make. Let's say steel plate bodies. Grab that. It's actually going to make 24 per inventory, but then all you do is teleport to, I think I teleported the wrong place. My bad. I teleported back to Temple of Light. Where you're going to actually want to teleport is to Amlod. Hit the 3 button, not the 2 button. And it shouldn't have a loading screen because you're so close. Go, run over to this obelisk, do your inventory, and then teleport right back to Ithol. Or there's another one is Treharn. Ithol's going to be better though. Make your pouches and then teleport back and forth. This is quite possibly the most OP thing you could do with this crystal teleport seed. I know a lot of people used to do it with crystal teleport seed plus Tazek Zo, I think the pronunciation is, because that teleports you right next to a bank, but now you can just get rid of that item altogether. Just use this crystal teleport seed back and forth. The rest of this isn't going to seem quite as OP as what that is right there, but I'm going to go ahead and mention all these places just in case if you have any need for them. The Kadarn section, basically just for flax. If you don't have the max cape yet, which I'm not actually wearing right now, if you don't have the max cape yet, this is probably the fastest way of getting to the max guild. Mostly just for these portals here. I have it set to incandescent wisp colonies and active crystal tree portal. You can use them for a lot of different things. These are the two that I just happen to find the most useful for myself. I use the crystal tree to get up woodcutting. Next guy gonna be Chris. This is semi close to a bank, not anywhere near as close. Reason why you're gonna want to be using this teleport is for farm runs. I have a dead herb here. If you use bush or herb runs, that would be very, very nice. It's also right next to the elder tree. I used to have to teleport to Prifnidus and then just run over here. This is going to be the fastest way of getting to this elder tree. It's gonna definitely make using this elder tree as part of your rotation a lot better than the rest of them. As long as you have a way of either picking up this crystal teleport seed or just keeping it in your inventory. One really nice thing that they could do, honestly, is just have this wearable. I know I'm asking for a lot, but if they make this wearable, it's going to be just super overpowered. Heaven, I'll show you the teleport. It really had no use whatsoever at all. But the teleport's here in case you want to run to the bank. If you want to get to this. Another thing I haven't mentioned yet, though, is actually all of these are very, very close to the thieving. The pickpocket areas for all these workers. You can use this very well for training up thieving, because instead of running from district to district, just pick the districts that you want to do and just teleport back and forth between all of them instead of having to basically run back and forth. It wastes some time. It's not a big increase, but if I ever plan on going for 120 thieving, I have a long ways to go, so it should save me a lot of time. Again, this really doesn't have a point for this teleport. I know the workers are right here for the Ithil section. You can pickpocket these. If you plan on doing combat for the combat, then you can kill these guys. But Morvrins is just as close to this as it is to the Prifnidus teleport, just the home teleport. So this looks like it's pretty close, but it's doesn't save almost any time at all unless you plan on carrying one of these around for every single Slayer task that you do. Odds are you're gonna have to go to a bank anyway to grab this, so you might as well just teleport to Prifnidus. Ithil I already showed you, again right close to the thieving guys. It does have a bank right here, which is the main use for it in case you want to do crystal flecked sandstone. That is an option. Again, this might actually be the fastest way of using construction if you're going back and forth to a bank. Nobody really goes back and forth to a bank to do construction though, so not much of a use if you do plan on banking every single time. This wasn't that far from a bank to start out with, but you can get into your house, do what you need to do in your house, and then teleport back to this bank chest. It does increase a little bit of speed, not a whole lot though. The last two here only really have one use, except for thieving, which is a basic use for all of Prifnidus ones. These are basically going to be farming run ones. There's a fruit tree over here. This is going to be the fastest way of getting a fruit tree, seeing as how you already are having this for the Leta, or Leleta, however you want to pronounce it, teleport to get to that one fruit tree. This is just a faster way of getting this to this fruit tree as well. So might as well have this in your inventory. Another couple things I want to mention though are these two mystery entrances. This is the 95 dungeoneering resource dungeon, and this is the 115 resource dungeon. It's again, they're just as close to the Prifnidus teleport as they are to here basically. So it might not be worth actually going to the bank grabbing this. You might as well just teleport to the Prifnidus lodestone. But if you happen to have this on your inventory and you want to get to these, this is technically the fastest way of getting there. And the last one is the Treharn. Again, teleports you right next to a bank chest. If you're doing summoning, you might as well use Ithil so it doesn't have that load screen having to jump across the entire map, because if you look at the location, Ithil is much closer. There we go. Ithil is much closer to Amlot, so there's very very low probability of having a load screen. If you jump from Amlot to Treyarch, though, it's probably going to end up having a load screen. So I wouldn't personally recommend using that teleport, and I would use this one. If you are already using for a farm run, though, it has a tree patch right here. So it is very good for farming runs. It does have Siren Stones and the furnace right here. So one thing that you can use to abuse this is run on over here to the furnace, smelt whatever you need to smelt, and then go ahead and teleport back to Treyarch, which doesn't save you almost any time at all, but it does save you probably a second or maybe two. So those are all the teleports. That's going to be the main thing you're going to be using this for. But I do want to mention one other thing before I finish up this video. Disassembly. So with these, they have a 0% junk chance. As you can see from the earlier version, the 3-dose ones, they did have a 3.4% junk chance. It's not a big increase in that junk chance. Just going from 3.4% to 0, it only is about a 4% increase in your output. But that 4% increase in your output actually gives you more crystal parts, making it possible to have 0 junk chance while disassembling these. All the same parts, nothing changes. But it's going to make it, if you are farming up crystal parts, it makes it 4% faster to farm up those crystal parts, just because you can put them up to a 8 teleport instead of a 3 teleport. It's not a big increase, but it does give you a little bit extra. I'm probably going to be mentioning that in another guide, because I plan on making a couple more guides about crystal parts. But till now, suffice it to say that this is going to be one of your best options. To go ahead and get them up to these 8 doses, and then disassembling them from there. For now, though, I have a Attuned Crystal Teleport Seed, so I don't think I really need these anymore. I'm probably going to go ahead and basically sing these all up to the 8-dose ones, and probably disassemble the rest of these. I have no use for Crystal Teleport Seeds now that I have the Attuned one. So that should be getting me a nice little profit. I'll come back to you guys and let you know how that goes. Till next time, though, this has been Techtail Production. Have a good day.